We're seeing this report out of California that there seems to be an exodus of billionaires from the state.
I wonder why.
There's a new wealth tax in place, but at least 6 billionaires have cut ties with the state, and as many as 20 more are mulling an exit. As someone like the governor of California, Gavin Newsom, loves to brag about the wealthy people that live in his state and how much wealth creation they can do there, the policies seem to be driving those very people away. What's he going to have left to run on if this all comes crashing down?
Well, I'm one of the few voices in California that keeps telling my friends, stay and fight. We need you. Don't abandon. I'm still there. I still am fighting. I'm always going to be in California. It's an amazing state. It just is very poorly run. But the frustration is real, and I get it. I get the business decisions, the financial decisions that people make, especially when it rains in Southern California. You think, wait a minute, we have a sunshine tax that's incredibly high. I'll pay that as long as the weather's good. As soon as the weather turns bad, everybody says, why do we stay?
That Rose Bowl was a little messy.
Yeah, I watched that parade. It was not the best.
Exactly. But look, I understand billionaires are giving up. Gavin Newsom has made it a terrible place to do business, and yet he doesn't get it. That's the other thing that's frustrating is Gavin just did his State of the State address yesterday, a total disaster. The budget is going to be, now the budget director is going to have to brief on where we are. We used to have surpluses, now we're deficits. The guy can't manage anything. The idea that the Democrats want to make him their nominee, I say bring it on, make him the nominee. He is never going to be able to sell what he did in Los Angeles and Sacramento to places like, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and Grand Rapids, Michigan. Those places are going to reject him. They're going to see his ways as terrible. We don't need Gavin Newsom to do to the United States what he did to California. But make no mistake, the Democrats don't see that because all of the media they read keeps celebrating this guy. He's going to get roughed up when he enters the national stage in a swing state with real media.
Right. I mean, right now you'd say he's the presumptive front runner this many years out. Probably if you look at some of the betting apps and things, you probably see that he's probably leading to be the nominee. And you see it all the time. And you do kind of look at California and go, how is this possible? How does this happen? Now, look, he's won many times in your state, even when there was votes to get him out early. That didn't happen. And then in Los Angeles, I just saw you post, you have a new potential leader running for mayor, and that is Spencer Pratt, who, of course, if you're from my generation, Spencer and Heidi and everything they've gone through. But, you have voices like that are stepping up because though it may sound, like a TMZ article headline, I realize this is another person who lost everything in the fires, who has seen what's actually happened. And when you have those kind of moments, people are going to start at least reconsidering how they've been voting for so long.
Yes, look, I think this is a great moment. We should get Spencer on ACLJ here and talk to him about it. But one thing you know from Spencer is he is frustrated. And this is the entire Jeffersonian principle of politics. People leave their comfortable life because they're frustrated. They want to make a difference. They go and they serve in these positions temporarily. And this is what Spencer would do. He's not a professional politician. He's not somebody who has to give favors to lobbyists for 15, 20 years. We, the public, we, the electorate, need to stop thinking that you need a politician that is completely polished and has every answer, who only goes into the job and fails. We need frustrated people who rise up and say, I'm going to fix something. Is Spencer the most experienced person in the Los Angeles budget system with the unions and negotiations? Probably not. But what I love about Spencer Pratt is that he lost his home. He's incredibly frustrated. He's a normal Los Angeles resident who has watched our city deteriorate, and he is stepping up because he's mad and frustrated. I think he'd make a great mayor.
I think a lot of people are like him and like you who have spent the majority of their lives there, and especially someone like him who spent legitimately his whole life there. Any of us who spent time in LA often 20 years ago, 25 years ago, 15 years ago, 10 years, we have seen it. We have seen it change so rapidly. It was the place where everyone wanted to be. It was a place where we were spending half our time. And now it feels like you said, unfortunately, most of my friends in LA, other than you, have ended up here. And that's sad in many ways, because it was that sort of wonderland for many years. So hopefully you can see some sort of turnaround with both of these, whether it's someone like Spencer or whoever it may be, who can actually wake some people up. And I hope that does happen for the state of California. But Rick, we appreciate it, because I think we always have to look at what's going on in New York, what's going on in LA. These are, as much as people want to maybe demonize those areas, so much of the country ends up being dictated or at least influenced by what's happening in those areas. Like you said, Gavin Newsom right now, the leading candidate to be the Democratic nominee. That is an absurd thing to a lot of people in the middle of the country, but it's certainly not for New York and LA.
I really hope the Democrats nominate Gavin Newsom. It is such a bad idea, but we shouldn't say that. Let's just tell them, do it.
Keep going.
He's your guy.